are about to set off on the Great Loop, which is...
It's a circumnavigation of the eastern half of the U.S. by waterways.
So we're heading out to sea. Gulf. It's a pretty big, but you can't see the other. I can barely see Mexico across the way. We're about to do our longest open water crossing yet. We're got 35 nautical miles to the Shark River. Open water will be about 3 or 4 miles offshore for part of it. So still inside the shore, but this is going to be interesting and perfect conditions for it right now. So looking forward to this. And we will actually be able to drive from inside for a while. We cast off from Russell Pass by Everglades City and did our big Gulf crossing. And actually we just kind of let the autopilot do most of the work, which was nice. We got to chill out inside with air conditioning, amazing glassy conditions. And
we actually had lunch while underway. It was really great. It was so glassy that we actually just shut off the engines for a while and just kind of coasted offshore. Got some swim lines out and just jumped in behind the boat for a little bit and cooled off.
It was the clearest water we've seen yet. We're still not in like crystal clear Gulf waters or Keys waters, but at least we could see our feet when we were swimming, which is a big step up.
That's a huge step up from the murky water we've been in since.
And we could see the barnacles growing on our props, which means like, okay, we need to find a diver fairly soon, but you know, there we go. Always monitoring the radio while underway.
Yep. So yeah, it was, how many miles were we actually out?
I think it was about 38 nautical miles. So it was our biggest cruising day and definitely our biggest offshore passage. And we went to the Shark River, and we were the only boat there.
Yeah, except for this morning there's a fishing boat. But yeah, it was fantastic. We just did the little bay right as you enter
water and did a dinghy adventure up the Shark River, which was just kind of beautiful. We were the only boats we saw. This river just goes for miles and miles, and it's actually deep enough. We could have taken the big boat, taken Wine out up there, but it was really fun to do it by dinghy and just explore inland for a while. And we've been aching for fitness.
Yes, and we need some exercise. Anyone who has been to this area of Florida knows the mosquitoes are notorious here. They are the little sharks of Little Shark River.
Oh my God. So yeah, as soon as the sun went down, they let us come outside for a little bit of a glass of wine and some sunset, and as soon as the sun was down below the horizon, zzz, and we sealed up as quickly as we could, and we could just see them bouncing against the glass. They were like looking at us. It was terrifying, actually.
Well, I don't know how terrifying.
It was terrifying. If you just think about it, they could have sucked all of our blood. We would be just husks. But yeah, we sealed up, turned on the air conditioner, got through the night, and...
It was repellent. We just sprayed any cracks and openings where they could have gotten in, and we had no mosquitoes get in overnight at all. So.
Okay, now one other disappointing thing about the Shark River. This is supposed to be the most remote spot that we could possibly find in Florida. You know, we are deep in the heart of the Everglades, miles from civilization, and we're not supposed to be able to get online. The whole reason we got the inReach satellite system is so we could be reachable out here. And, well, we got cell signal.
So,
barely.
we anticipated that there might be some AT&T 4G or HSPA plus signal out here based upon the coverage maps. And they could
We
not
thought they were
pick-
lying.
Well, we didn't know. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes the coverage maps are a little ambitious.
Yes.
And sure enough, on our devices for AT&T, just on their own, they did not pick up anything. We weren't getting anything offshore either. But once we put in our little Netgear MIMO directional antenna, which we love that antenna, it's for $27. It's an incredible bargain. We were able to get online. We actually used a 0.5 gigabyte of data with our photo syncing. We were able to check in, check Facebook, check in with our assistants.
It was very inconsistent. It would drop in and out. And the biggest thing was every time the boat would swing, we'd have to find a different window to stick the antenna into because the signal would drop. So it was very squirrely, but we got online.
And we estimate we're about 17 miles from the nearest cell tower in Flamingo.
Yep.
And definitely during times of storms or the sun emitting radiation between us and the tower, we did notice it did not work as well. So this morning we got out our WeBoost. We have the 4GX on board, and we tried it with the default little 4-inch stubby antenna on a metal ground plane, as well as our boat ant antenna, which is a very high gain omnidirectional antenna, and couldn't get much out of the booster.
Nothing was working consistently this morning. We actually got a little bit of LTE with the help of the booster,
which we're not supposed to have.
Which we're not supposed to have here. We were able to, but we were getting like about 1 or 2 megabits per second down, which seems great. But when you factor in the upload speed was 0 megabits per second, that meant that everything was super inconsistent and very unusable. But the whole, we don't know whether it was the sun or the tower. There was a lot of inconsistencies when we were trying to test it. But it was amazing that, just in general, we got online.
We also plugged in our boat ant into the primary port of our United Explorer mobile hotspot for AT&T, and we were able to get online enough to check in with everything this morning, download weather reports, check in on hurricanes. There are 3 active depressions kind of heading this way that we are keeping a close eye on. So we're able to do the basics. So despite all of the active captain reports of absolutely no cellular connectivity out here, you actually can get a sniff of it, and probably just enough to annoy you. But just enough to get online.
Yeah, the worst kind of signal is the kind that teases you.
You couldn't just anchor out here forever.
No.
Besides the no walking thing.
The no walking would be the biggest killer.
So, okay.
And now on to Cape Sable. Be on land?
Land home!
We could actually walk. There's about 30 miles of beach here. I don't think I want to walk all of it. But, oh, so nice to walk. Let's go.
Land.
It's been too many days on a boat. Let's walk.
How many days has it been?
This is our 5th day since...
We went ashore twice in the first 2 days.
Yeah, true.
No, this one we're on day 6. We're about to go on 6 nights.
6 nights right now.
But I think it's been 3 full days since we've been on land.
Wow, that's a long time.
I mean, people crossing the ocean do longer, but...
Okay, let's go walk. The staged wind shot.
No, if it was staged, then I would have left the camera down there and gotten a picture of both of us walking.
Oh, that's true.
Sun protection. And kind of the opposite of the bikini shot.
I don't know, you were skinny dipping yesterday. It's even better than a bikini shot.
Yeah, but that's not going on YouTube.
No, that's the pay site. Patrons only. We didn't plan it. No, there's actually a little chart in my closet that tells me what to wear for photo shoot days, and no, completely unplanned.
All right, so I think this morning we start off with what we're grateful for last night.
We're grateful for good anchorage.
Very good anchoring. The anchor held. I am thankful it was not low tide, because at our lowest of tide yesterday, we were at about 2.5 feet underneath our props. I am thankful that we were just on the edge of these storms that popped up.
Yeah, so what happened? Last night we got this great anchorage at Cape Sable. Miles and miles of beach to walk on, which we loved, except for the bugs. Made it a little hard to walk on the beach, but still we had a nice time, beautiful spot. But there were right around 10:30 to 11:30 last night. There were some very severe storms popped up over the Everglades. They were a bit severe enough to have warning to mariners issued. Continuous lightning, which we were witnessing out our windows. It was basically, you could almost see from the strobe effects of non-stop lightning. We didn't get much wind for very long, but the lightning was ferocious, and then...
But it was all around us. None of it was really right over us.
Yes.
We were watching we used the storm app, which kind of predicts the weather going forward, and it was showing most of the major cells going around us somehow. Very thankful for that. But what we did get is, after the storm was passing out of the waves, is we got to experience what unsettled seas are. And basically that's the waves from the storm were coming ashore, and then they were ricocheting off the beach back to us. And unfortunately, the way the wind had placed our anchor is we were taking both sides of the waves to the beam.
So we were going like this non-stop for about half an hour, and it was very uncomfortable. We had to quickly secure every possible thing in the boat so it wouldn't fall over, and just get a good seat and try to hold on, because it was exciting, and a lot more motion than you'd ever get in an RV. It's really distinct from how an RV rides out a storm.
So we unfortunately got caught in one of the times you don't want to be in such an anchorage. It was our first open anchorage, non-rated, really non-protected. I think it might be our last.
We did fine, and the storm passed, but it was an exciting night. And so now we're up early this morning, and we are now heading, because there is more unsettled weather heading this way. We are making a beeline for Marathon, so we're crossing the Florida Bay right now.
Where we do have a reservation at a marina and Marathon.
Yep.
So we do have a safe spot to be, should one of the tropical disturbances right now is aiming kind of towards Fort Lauderdale, which would put us in the outer bands, or a little wobble could put it down into the Keys. So we are speeding ahead. We are supposed to have some picked up winds as early as this weekend.
Yep.
So we are getting to a safe spot for that.
Yeah, and so we're hoping to anchor out one more time tonight and down in the Keys officially, maybe get some big blue water snorkeling in. And we're waving goodbye to the Everglades receding behind us as we sail out into open seas.